We had a lot of people involved in this project. We had dancers, sculptors, we had jewellery makers, stonemasons, we had the local authority, lots of people that were supporting the project. They may have not had a lot to do with it, but a lot of these people, you do need to think about their considerations to this type of process. And I think that was something that was learnt quite early on in the project, that to have an incredible vision, you need a whole team of people. And I think for artists that have sometimes worked in isolation, to see that sometimes you can let go and let someone else take part of that project is really important. But actually seeing it going onto site was just incredible, actually. And to me, it meant a lot more as well. It meant this is another opportunity where we are seeing a very sort of high quality installation and piece of art going into a space which resonates in a way around how resources are shifting, how disabled artists are accessing more and more valued opportunities and are becoming part of the everyday infrastructure in the way that they are selected for projects.
So far, so good.
It was just incredible to see these pieces of stone, the weight, the size, the scale. They were just huge, and the logistics around and the operations of the crane taking them off the transport lorry, the guys that were delivering the stone, they were just so resourceful, so good at trying to get these pieces into position. Even if it was 1.5 millimetres out, we were going to stay there all day to get it right, and because Tony had been so involved with this and he is so precise, that even a 1 ton piece of stone had to be moved quite a significant millimetre to make sure that Square in the Circle as a piece and the 5 segments lined up was correct and how he wanted. And I think for me it was an incredible thing to see. I suppose after 4 years, quite a fantastic to see that even at the last minute when we were all tired and wanted to go home, Tony was still there saying, actually, no, I'm not happy, it needs shifting. And we just all got on, we just all did it, and everyone chipped in and made sure that it happened.
To bring this public sculpture from an idea to a finished piece, that weighs 13.5 tonnes and sits in this quadrangle at Portsmouth University, by its very nature means that you've got to have the agreement and involvement of a whole range of other people. And in practical terms, it's meant working with other disabled artists, with students from the university, from tutors at the university, the estates managers here, the landscape architects. Students have used the Square in the Circle concept. They've gone away and looked at how to make their architecture accessible for disabled people. They've had disability equality training, they've met with disabled artists, worked with disabled artists, and had open dialogues. What does it really mean to people when they can't get into buildings, or you make buildings difficult for people to engage with? So actually putting this sculpture in this quadrangle is a very small part of that process. And I hope over the 3-4 years that the process has touched lots of people's lives. This is an end result, but actually the end result is far less important than the process that we've been through, working with architecture students, working with disabled artists, working with funders, and it's that process. And if you've changed people's attitudes and changed people's minds, then that's the thing that's important. And if they see the sculpture every now and again and it reminds them of the process they've been through, then that's the important thing that the sculpture can do. It's constantly there to remind people about social inclusion, about exclusion, about Square in the Circle, about including people into the centre rather than putting up blank walls and pushing people out. And if that's a reminder, then it will have worked.
We're beginning to understand that everybody has incredible skills, whether you're an architect and you're a non-disabled person, or whether you're a disabled artist and whether you're a disabled architect. Actually, what we all want is inspiring creative solutions in the built environment that are inspired by emotions, really. Your function is very important, but I think the emotional experience of those spaces, of those environments, is something that can only work if we all work together on designing and defining those things. And I think over the last 4 years, we have moved massively into moving into that area of discussion and debate, which is key, really, to moving forward. And I think it has happened, and this has given us the opportunity and the confidence to do that.